Hey there guys, Erin here again, and I thought I would sit down with you today and go over the benefits that I am personally experiencing while being on a keto diet. So if you're unfamiliar with my channel, Holista is a channel that I've created in order to document out my health journey as I go through keto, to kind of showcase the recipes, different products I'm using. So as of today, I'm somebody who's been on a keto diet for about 2 months, and I'm seeing a ton of benefits. If you're unfamiliar with what a keto diet is, it's where you limit the amount of carbs in order to get into a state of ketosis, which is a natural fat burning state. So I've been doing this, like I said, for 2 months, and I'm seeing lots of benefits. The first one is obvious, and that's weight loss. I'm personally losing about 1 pound per week, and that works for me. I'm not really trying to push it any farther. My initial goal was to get into my weight range for my height, and I've gotten there, so I feel pretty proud about that. Beyond that, whatever I'm losing, that's great. The bigger thing regarding like my body and kind of my weight is that my body composition has changed, and I keep posting these 2 pictures because it's so amazing to me that this is 7 pounds, and the shape my body has taken. The number on the scale is nice, but the composition of my body is just more amazing to me, and is something that I couldn't be more excited about, just to see the kind of changes that are happening, the areas that were once big getting smaller. To me, that matters a lot more than the scale does. So the bigger thing, beyond just the weight, is the fact that my body is functioning different. I have more energy than I've ever had. I feel like I'm sharper, I'm quicker, I can mentally do things a lot faster than I could before. I feel like I'm actually able to accomplish more than I was before. I feel less sluggish. So just running on fat feels, just better than it did with carbohydrates. I used to have such brain fog, and now I don't. That it's kind of crazy to me. This one's kind of strange, but I also feel like I have more of a positive attitude. My mood has changed. I used to feel maybe a little bit more run down, more sluggish, a little grumpier, and now I feel really just happy all the time, pretty positive. Those factors have kind of come into play in choosing to create a channel and put myself out there. So I think when you're really positive and you're in that positive state of mind, you achieve and kind of go after things that you weren't really achieving and going after before. To me, one of the benefits that I'm really experiencing is that I'm never getting hungry anymore, and I'm also never getting cravings. So I constantly feel full. I never feel like I have to run out and have a meal right away. When I started with keto, I did, but now that I'm adapted, I'm just kind of neutral to food. I know that I need to eat, and what I eat is really just mentally. I pick the things that are gonna keep me fueled and focused the rest of the day, and I don't really go after like quick snacks anymore, unless I have a personal actual time crunch. Then I do that, but for the most part, if I've got time to make a meal, the meal's really just based on getting the right nutrients into my body. And kind of in conjunction with that is I don't have cravings anymore. I'm somebody that, if you had, a donut, or if you had some sort of sweet treat, I would totally go after it. And now I really have no interest in those things. If I see them, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember that tasted good, but I'm just neutral to it now. Like, I can easily say no to those temptations. It took a while. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm 2 months in, so there's been some time to get into this state of being very removed from my craving temptations, and so you kind of have to get through it, but once you're kind of adapted, I think it takes anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks to really get into this state. You really become neutral to that kind of stuff, and it becomes less interesting, less likely that you'll end up cheating on your diet. Physical parts of my body that I wouldn't attribute to weight loss or a diet are changing, and that's number one is my skin. I live in Minnesota, and that's an incredibly cold northern state in the United States. If you're not familiar with it, if you live in the United States, like I just gave you a geography reminder, and it's very cold and dry here right now. We're in the middle of winter, and so typical temperatures are around 20 to 25 degrees right now. It's been a lot colder. We've had days where it was like negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and just very cold, and so very dry, very bitter cold. And normally this time of the year, I'd be slathering on all sorts of lotions, and I've barely had to do that. My skin is just smooth. It just feels moisturized. It's just like I constantly just want to like touch my arms, especially because that's the area where I used to be so dry, and now I just feel like amazing. It's, you know, a strange benefit that I'm experiencing. The other benefit is my hair, and it's definitely, my hair is definitely not perfect. I'll be the first to admit that, but it's getting there. And in January, prior to really starting keto, I was like, you know what, I probably need to get like a good 4 inches of my hair cut off. And now I'm thinking I need a lot less cut off. I'm just kind of been holding back and waiting to see, you know, what kind of happens with my hair. And I'm going to keep touching it now because I started touching it. But it's just amazing, the difference. And I'll kind of try to put a picture here of what my hair looked like before, but I haven't changed the products I'm using. I haven't changed my hair routine at all. The only thing that's changed is being keto. And so just the feeling of it is amazing. The other benefit I'm noticing is, you know, also just in my skin and my face in general. I'm somebody who would have hormonal acne, and you know, one time a month I would pop out with zits, and I've had one zit since switching to keto, and I would attribute that more to the fact that I had a bad cold and I was blowing my nose and doing all that kind of stuff and chapping up my skin versus actual like hormonal acne. My skin on my face is smoother. I'm having to wear less makeup in order to get the results that I wanted to. I used to wear tons and tons of makeup on my skin, and now I'm using less, and it's kind of crazy, like just the feeling of it. So another benefit that I'm experiencing also that kind of goes beyond the everything else that I talked about is that I'm sleeping better. The quality of sleep that I'm getting and the deeper sleep that I'm getting into is just amazing. Like I just fall into my pillow, and within 5 minutes I'm out cold, and I'm out cold for, you know, more than 6 hours before I kind of rustle and wake myself up again. Before I was tossing and turning all night, and now I just fall into my bed and I just sleep. And so that to me is a huge benefit. Sleep is so important, and I think that really aids in my, you know, kind of keeping my hormones in check and keeping my weight loss going, and just being able to just relax at the end of the day and getting my 8 hours of sleep. It feels amazing. And I totally attribute it to keto. I think it's the fact that I'm, you know, not having as much kind of digestive issues. You know, I'm eating lighter than I was, even though I'm eating a heavier fat diet. So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for eating your fats at this point. All I'm feeling are benefits. I really haven't had any true negatives. I mean, the only negatives I can think are ones that are really more tied to like social situations. So being in a situation in which there's no keto-friendly foods. And in my mind, the best way to kind of combat that is just to plan ahead. I feel like I could objectively sit and say like, yeah, I'll go out to a restaurant with you. I know this restaurant has no keto-friendly foods. But I'm at the point where I could like literally just sit here and enjoy the social aspect of going out, and I'll go back and eat my keto foods later. And you know what? It's no big deal. It's not a problem. I don't feel like I would have missed out in any way. Yeah, that really the only negative I can think of is the potential for social situations. And I feel like keto's given me a ton of like tools that would help me achieve and stay kind of focused during those situations. So I'm not too worried anymore. Yeah, right now the benefits that I'm experiencing, like I said, the body composition, of course the weight loss, the never being hungry, the loss of cravings, the great sleep, the skin changes throughout my body, my hair. I'm also finding that, randomly enough, a list is right now, I'm also finding that it's a lot easier to drink all the water that I need in the day. I experience thirst far more often than I experience hunger. So I just feel like my body has kind of done the flip where I'm actually fueling and feeding it and doing everything that I need to do in order to be the best functioning me that I could be. So yeah, these are the benefits that I'm experiencing, and if you are experiencing the same benefits, I'd love to hear it from you. If you could comment below. I just think it'd be great to have a dialogue open up about the different benefits that people are experiencing while on keto and the different things that they're kind of going through. If you like my channel and you like the material that I'm putting out, please feel free to subscribe. It really helps to support me. It really lets me know that I'm connecting with people who are, you know, also interested in using keto as a means to obtain optimal health. So again, till next time, I hope you guys are doing well and everything's going great, and yeah, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.